Everybody. Figured I'd just jump on for a little bit. I was supposed to have a live stream last night. Nothing came of it, so I figured I'd just get on for a bit and talk to you guys. This is unplanned, so if people don't jump in here, I kind of understand. I just wanted to kind of update you guys on the goings on of this whole injury situation that the Niners are dealing with. I don't know if anybody's been paying attention to the news. Um, but it's been some pretty interesting stuff going on. A lot of talk about the injuries, and some things came out um, from the league from Tom Pelissero about the 49ers maybe doing some illegal practicing or doing things that are against the league rules as far as what you can do in certain off-season practices. So it's pretty interesting. It goes to show you that, these injuries might be not coming out of anywhere or nowhere. Then there might be uh, a reason behind what's going on right now. So I'm just going to let you guys try to flood in here, and then I'll start kind of talking about what I want to talk about. Give you guys a chance to respond. The fact that the league has come down on the Niners for some sort of illegal practice. Hey, what's going on, man? Just getting on for a little bit. Not much going on. What's going on, Frank Tom Ocean? Just wondering if you guys have been paying attention to the news that's been going on about some of the Niners practice boo-boos that happened where the league came down on them. I don't know if the league's going to fine them. I don't know exactly what the punishment's going to be, but I think the corner Ambry Thomas posted a video of some pretty physical OTA practices that I guess are against league rules or something. So the injuries might not be just coming out of nowhere. They're the league penalty. I don't know. We'll see. The league has specified. Tom Pelissero didn't really specify either. But there are certain things that are in the collective bargaining agreement that ban certain types of things in practices. And the fact that the Niners got caught doing it be interesting. I don't know if you guys. I'm going to bring this up to Aponte when I have him on here, and I'm going to bring this up to Vish Cameroon. And there's been a lot of talk about the correlation between over practicing or too much weightlifting and not modifying things, per player. Some players you have to modify their workout routine. Proper hydration. There's a lot going into, especially the Jeff Wilson Jr. injury, where he pretty much stood up and tore his, I think it was his meniscus. And a lot of people are saying that could come from hydration or just, when you sweat and you lose, they do need to learn to stretch better. There's a lot of talk. There was a defensive back that came on, I think Eric Crocker's channel, Will Blackman, I think his name was. And he doesn't think that the 49ers injuries are just freak things. He said he thinks there's a lot of science behind it. One thing that he was talking about was the fact that players need rest and recovery time, especially right after the season. And there should be, what's up, Tommy Huxley? There should be a time of players to relax, rest their bodies. And he doesn't think that when players work out so much and lift so much, you guys see the George Kittle videos, you guys see the Deebo Samuel workout videos, you see all these guys doing all this crazy stuff. And they, the team will give them a kind of a list or a way to go about doing things in the off season. These players, once they go away from the facility, they don't have to really do what their organization is telling them to do. They go based on what they want to do. So there's been some talk of like guys overtraining and not resting their bodies. And then they go into these OTA practices, not having proper rest, and a lot of these injuries. There's also talk of a lack of vitamin D. The vitamin D comes from sunlight. This is from an go if you want at some point go listen to the interview that Eric Crocker had Will Blackman. Uh, Vitamin D, you should have a certain level of vitamin D in your body. Um, and when you lack that, it can lead to a lot of lower leg injuries, a lot of soft tissue injuries. And especially for people that live in an area where there's not a lot of sunlight, even if it's something that you got to take via pill or whatever. And he was starting to give like more of a scientific spin on things and not making it less about chance. My biggest problem is that Kyle Shanahan, when asked about all this stuff, seemed pretty defiant. You know, he seemed pretty not worried. And I mean, there's definitely you know, in the saying, when there's smoke, there's fire. Uh, the Niner, everybody has injuries. Jay and the Bay talked about that. Everybody has injuries. That's true. But this team has had so many every year for how many years? From the last training staff to this training staff. This training staff is actually headed by a guy that came from the National Hockey League. He's not even a football guy. Those are two totally different sports. And there's just a lot of factors that are going into what's happening right now. It's not by chance. I don't think it's happenstance. CG Ruthless Sports says vitamin D is more important, especially playing a physical game. Definitely. Am I worried or optimistic about the D line this year? I'm worried that we can't capture Lenny. We'll see. It's all about health, bro. Like, my biggest concern this year is we got D Ford. They're putting stock that he might come back. We have Bosa coming off of a knee injury. Okay. I thought we had Ronald Blair. Looks like he failed the physical and then he ended up getting signed by the Jets. So we don't have that. You know, we got a guy like Arden Key. We signed that dude, Abucom from the Rams. It's all based on health and early indications of mini camp, OTAs, whatever you want to call it. Looks like we're having the same issues as last year. Hopefully this is just a blip and it's not the norm. We need all the help we can get when it comes to injuries. The fact that they canceled minicamp is telling. And I mean, apparently they've gotten everything they needed to out of these OTA practices and they don't need to practice anymore. I don't believe that. I believe you should practice as much as you possibly can in order to get better. Yeah, Niner faithful, as long as they don't go too hard in practice. Apparently they're going really hard in practice. Feels like Kyle Shanahan has learned his lesson yet. Someone needs to sit him down, whether it's Lynch, whether it's what's his name? Who owns the team? Jed York, and get a hold of this. This is a situation that, you know, we can't have another year of injury excuses and then us not doing well and then, you know, have the same thing repeat itself over and over where, yeah, and then the draft hits and we're all excited and yada, yada, yada. It's always the same. Nothing changes. So we'll see. A lot of people think that I'm being negative or I'm being a Debbie Downer. I really think it is something of a concern and it should be a concern. And for people who aren't worried about it, your head's in the sand. It's definitely a problem. Thank you, Tommy. Jed York. So my whole thing with Aponte last night was kind of last minute canceled. People have, you know, real stuff goes on in real people's lives, and I told them it's fine. He had something to attend to, and so we're going to reschedule. I think for Monday about the same time. I have Vish coming on this Wednesday. I think 8:00 too Eastern. More of the same, you know. I like to pick different guys, especially really intelligent guys. I like to pick their mind about the Niners. I want to know how they feel, if they're as worried or if they're more optimistic. That's always my thing. I like to see how especially people who I think know more than me. I always like to learn more. You know what I mean? I'm not the smartest 49er fan. You know, there's a lot of channels that do film breakdowns and stuff like that. Those guys are really good, especially a guy like John Chapman. He's fantastic. Sorry to hear about that, CG. Uh, Funerals are never fun. Definitely not. So my heart goes out to you. Hope all is well with you. Godspeed. Yeah, Aponte, I think I'm not going to speak why it was canceled, but he had a situation come up. Family over everything, man. Like if people have a situation, this stuff can wait. It's just football talk. It's not that important. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, I couldn't sit idly by watching all this stuff happen lately and not address it. There's definitely something. Well, I flaked on a funeral, but he was my drug dealer before I went. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, funerals are really tough for me. I have a hard time with them. I'm not good with death and finality. Yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of time though, CG, because it's like the dead part of the off season. So, you know, we can stretch out our content over a period of time and be fine. Because there's not much really happening till late July. So, um, congratulations, man. I respect people that are uh, able to be clean. I'm straight edge, and most straight edge people are kind of arrogant. They don't understand the plight of someone who's in a an addict, and the fact that you can go clean and be clean for that long. That's awesome. That's a huge accomplishment, man. It's tough. You're switching to wrestling talk for a bit. Yeah, I love Jim Cornette, man. I thought about doing wrestling stuff on my channel too, but I don't want to want to copy you. But I thought about posting other stuff on here, but I would probably just probably make another channel or something. But I don't watch wrestling that much anymore. I'll tell you, I like CM Punk when he was doing his thing for a bit back in the 2010s, 2011. And then after that, it was pretty much nothing. Do you want the 49ers to get Zach Ertz? Yeah, I would. I'd be big on that. The thing is Kittle's hurt a lot. Thank you. I appreciate that. Kittle's hurt a lot. So why not get a highly capable backup who is pretty productive in his own right? I like Ross Dwelly, but Ross Dwelly doesn't really scare anybody. He doesn't really stretch the defense. He's a good end zone guy to throw the ball to, but he's good. But I mean, if you had a chance to add a guy like Zach Ertz, then yeah, I would definitely do it. The Julio thing was never really a realistic option. I never thought it was going to happen. I'm just glad, like I said, that he went to the AFC instead. I apologize for the sun that's behind me. The side of my house gets beaten down by the sun all the time, so I keep tilting my head to kind of block it. You're ignorant about Zach Ertz. I mean, he's a pretty damn good tight end for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think he had some injury issues, and so I don't know. I'm not exactly sure of his plight. Tommy Huxley, you said straight edge is the way to go. Straight edge is, for me, I've never had an addictive personality. I don't like alcohol, and I've never had a thing for smoking or anything. It's my personality. I'm addicted to food, but it's in coffee. But it's just, I do think it's a genetic thing. You know what I mean? I think it's a thing do I have AC? Yeah, I have central air. My room doesn't get that cold though because of the sun. Not sure about Warner because yeah. I don't know about Warner. I don't see anything special about him, to be honest with you. Late round pick, yeah. Like I said, if you can upgrade and it's not going to cost you any draft capital, then do it. Niners can't afford to really part with any draft picks at this point. They need to do as much as they can with what they have. And like I said, Jay in the Bay was saying, hopefully Jimmy plays really well, and we have some trade bait. You know what I mean? We could move him for something. So Yeah, food is definitely my medicine. I deal with anxiety a lot and depression. That's one of the reasons I like getting on here sometimes because my mind is idle, it's not a good place. So I figure I just come in and talk to you guys. So I appreciate you guys jumping in here. I have like mad love for all of you people who support me. I'm not flamboyant. I like Jay Nabay. I love him, man. I love his energy. He's just so happy. I have more of a even keel personality. So, but I do appreciate you guys. Definitely. Is there anyone you wish we would have drafted this year? Not anyone in particular. I just wish maybe they would have addressed wide receiver maybe again for like the 100th draft in a row. Um, Corner maybe earlier, but I think the Niners did really well in this draft considering. I think they went after positions that were of need. Um, I really think that this might be the last year of Raheem Mostert. I don't see him sticking around. I feel like they drafted his replacement, and Trey Sermon looks like the real deal. Again, health. We can say everything we want about all these guys, but it really comes down to health. Is that a Blue Yeti mic? Yeah. Does it sound bad? I'm having some issues with my mic and my camera, so I don't know. I have a hub that's on my computer from Logitech, and it kind of screwed everything up. So I'm just trying to 49ers life going good. Hope life going great. Good day. Thank you. Appreciate that. I actually got a comment from Twitch. I never get comments from Twitch. I stream to Twitch just like YouTube. I literally never get any comments, so I appreciate Yikes Factory. The sound is fine. Yeah, I'm always tweaking it. A lot of times after my streams, I'll watch back my stuff. When I interviewed Eric Crocker, one of those guys, I had really bad crackling noise because of things. And so I'm just always trying to adjust it. Yeah, see, CG's different. CG's more cocky. CG comes from that trash talk background. You know what I mean? But that's him. I can't be that way. I'm a nice guy in real life, and I think I would assume that I'm pretty nice on here too. I don't like getting into it with anybody. You know what I mean? Everybody's different. So if I got on here and started, talking a bunch of trash and stuff, or just being super energetic like Jay, that's just not my style. So I'm more of just a even keel dude. Everybody brings their own special flair to YouTube and to content creating. So you plug your blue light Yeti right into your phone and shoot videos. Yes, there's some good stuff you can do with your phone nowadays. I had the pop filter on here for a while, but I just was like blocking my face all the time. So, and then I got myself a Logitech camera. I've like little by little, I like to invest in my channel. You know what I mean? Like if I wanted to make content that looks a little bit better, I'm still in my room. I have my brother living in my house. Actually, one day he's going to move and get his own house, and I plan on making the spare bedroom that'll be there an office, and I'm going to change, or not an office, like a studio, and I'm going to change everything. I'm going to put a little bit of money. I might get like a green screen, put a lot of padding on the wall for sound and stuff, like really make it look legit. But like I said, I've put a little money into this, and hopefully I've gotten the results that I was looking for. I saw somebody was trying to start a YouTube channel, and they're like telling people to like, I don't know if they were creating like a PayPal or like they wanted, hey, go to my Patreon and help me make the money. It's like, do it on your own, man. You had fun with trash talking, but it worked. Yeah, I used to get like that. There was this one stream I used to listen to. It was a wrestling stream. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, CG, called Bruce Blitz. And he was like really high intensity. He hated WWE. He used to talk about it all the time. And like after a while, all that screaming and yelling and cursing and getting mad about stuff that you can't change, it just got to be a point where I was like, okay, this isn't entertaining anymore. It had its place. when like people who are like YouTubers that get on after like a team loses and they get really pissed off and like, yeah, you're like into it and you're like agreeing with them. I can't take that energy after a while. Yeah. Some people are just good at talking trash though. You know what I mean? I'm not really a trash talker. I get into it with my nephew a little bit because he's from that generation of he's like 26. Like I've told you guys before, he's a LeBron guy. I'm a Jordan guy, just from my generation. I'm a Montana guy. He's a Brady guy, even though he's a Niners fan. And like some of our arguments get to the point where I'm like, okay, you're my blood and we're just gonna chill because it gets really like intense after a while. Like we start taking shots at each other and things get a little personal. So I'm just like, okay, that's enough. So I'm just looking forward to you know, training camp, to bring it back to football. I just hope uh that this Trey Lance thing, I hope we start seeing the best of him. I hope because when what they've said, he was fed the whole offensive install at camp and pretty much completed it. So that's impressive coming from a rookie to completely absorb a whole offensive install. Because you know how hard that 49ers offense is uh, to you know, to learn and everything. It's a complicated. So we're gonna see. Me and my nephew are kind of a wait and see type approach. People, we just we get excited, but at the same time, we have like really, I can't say negative. We're just cautiously optimistic. You know what I mean? Niner Faithful says I'm an Allen Iverson guy, but I respect LeBron and Jordan. Yeah, it's a lot of my buddies growing up hated the Bulls and hated Jordan. So they were big Allen Iverson fans, and there was that famous crossover that happened where Jordan got left. They never let that go. So I was always like, hey, but yeah, he got one crossover, but Jordan's got rings, the typical back and forth. I don't know who Fisk Vegas video is. What did you use to trash talk about? Just sports, wrestling, stuff like that? What was your main topic? Yeah, I was a hand dude, so was I. In the 90s, I was a huge Bulls bandwagon fan. Um, I was a Jordan fan. Okay, I wasn't a Bulls fan. So when Jordan left, it's not like the 49ers where, you know, the thing with the 49ers with me is it's something that no matter who the players are, my love for the team remains. You know what I mean? I still have that pride. Whereas with the Bulls in the 90s, I was more or less just a Jordan guy. And like I said, once Jordan retired, that baseball was pretty much it for me. I was pretty heavy into baseball for a while too, as a Yankees fan, but I just got really worn out by baseball, and I no longer am really a fan of it anymore, to tell you the truth. Yeah, Michael Jordan was a fantastic player. Kobe was a fantastic player. I'll tell you who's a really damn good player is Kevin Durant. Say what you want about him, but he could have played in any era, man. He could have played in the '90s era with all those guys. He's that talented. So could have Kobe. So could have LeBron. Those are just generational talents. You know what I mean? They're players that you can't duplicate. They're all super highly athletic, highly capable players. Niner Faithful says I'm a Niners and Lakers fan always, but not a bandwagon. No, I was a 49. Of course, started like the Niners when they were good back in the late '80s, but they've been bad, more than they've been good since they've won their last Super Bowl, and I've stayed true. Everybody knows. You grew up in the Shaq and Kobe era, CG. Yeah, I'm a little older than you. I was born in '79, so uh, during the '90s, I was a teenager. So I was big, when I remember being in 10th grade and the article came out that Jordan was coming back, and I was like super stoked. I remember I was so happy. It was a different. You think Larry Bird could play in this Niner faithful? Could play in this era, Larry Bird? I don't know. I think he could, especially with you can't really touch anybody anymore. You know what I mean? It's definitely more of a. I'm not going to say soft. I'm just going to say it's not as physical as it was maybe in like the 70s to like maybe how it was like during the late 80s and early 90s with the Pistons and stuff. But CG, you were born in 1990. Yeah. Wrestling was good in the late 90s. I was never into wrestling until the Attitude Era, and then I kind of fizzled out after The Rock and Austin left. Niner Faithful says, I grew up in the LeBron era, 04, baby. I'm trying to think how old you are, Niner Faithful. You must be about, I don't know, 25, 26? Yeah. Tommy Huxley, how old are you? My age? Like 41? Or a little bit older, a little bit younger? I don't know. Yeah, this stream has turned into just like me ranting, or not ranting, me just talking about whatever. Like I said, we're in that. You just turned 17. Holy crap, you're young. Whoa. Man. 17, I was 1997. That was a long time ago. You were born in 70. Oh, so you're like 2 years older than me. Yeah, I turned 42 in December. So remember when I put on my community tab that I bought that jacket for my nephew, the Faithful to the Bay. I surprised him with it yesterday. He came over. He saw my new bathroom. He saw my tractor that my mom bought for me. I was cut my lawn. He's like, what other surprises could you possibly have? And I like brought him into the living room, and he came around the corner. I said, catch. And I threw it to him, and he was like, what? And it like perfectly fit him. He was so stoked. He's like, I'm going to wear this everywhere. That was a great feeling. That's like a total throwback coat. You'll be Rathman and Juice number in November. Yeah, I'll be Ronnie Lott in December. 42. I'll be as old as my mother's father ever was. He passed away at 42. They came to him, my mom's parents. My mom was from Sicily. They came to America in 68, and he died in 71. He was only 42 years old, so it's kind of weird that I'll be as old as one of my grandparents were when he passed. That's really young. Yeah, I was at a Super Bowl party when we beat the Chargers too. I was there. I was I had some Steelers fans trash talking me about how if the Steelers were in the Super Bowl, they would have beat us. And I'm thinking, the team we're beating the brakes off of right now, you couldn't beat. So how, you know what I mean? Like they were stupid. Yeah, I was repping hard when we won the Super Bowl, man. Hard. It was great. Nobody said nothing to me. It was great. I was a freshman in high school, the second half of the year. So 1994, 95 was my freshman year in high school. So, yeah. Terry Bradshaw? I don't know. He might have. I hate when people say that. Like, if my team was in the Super Bowl, we would have won. But we put a 50 spot almost on the team that you couldn't beat. So, whatever. Bradshaw. Bradshaw's just mad because he won as many Super Bowls as Joe, and people look at him as inferior to Joe Montana, as he should be. After this week, you'll be a senior. Yeah. I'm trying to think. My nephew, I have a nephew who's your age. Well, no, he's a year older than you. My nephew's a senior this year. That's crazy, man. Well, congrats. You got one more year, and then real life starts. I'll tell you, if I could do it, I'd go to school over going to work any day. I know that sounds really weird, but work sucks. The only thing is you get paid for it. But yeah, like just what do you guys think? Do you think that the Niners are seriously in need of a readjustment after this season if they continue to have the injury bug plague them? Do you think they should reevaluate strength and conditioning once again? Do you think they should reevaluate the way they practice? Everything should be on the table if this happens again. Agree, disagree? Let me know. No problem, Niner faithful. You picked a good team to be a fan of, and the fact that you got Deion Sanders as your profile pick that's awesome. Hopefully the Niners state of the 49ers, I think they're going to debut possibly the red throwback with the black outline. You know I will be getting one of those. It's going to be awesome. Trying to think what other Niner news is really happening right now. Not much. Just the injury bug. Your mom is a huge Steelers fan, Tommy Huxley. I like away distance second. Yeah. Where I live in Bills country, but there's a lot of Steelers fans out here too. Like if you go to I used to go to like sports bars that had like, the Sunday ticket, and there was a huge Steelers representation. Oh, Deion's the best, man. I love Deion. I wish the Niners could have kept them for more than 1 year. But I think the year that the 49ers went for it, they signed all those players and they went for it too. They wanted to beat Dallas. That was right around when the salary cap started. So the Niners were in salary cap hell for contracts that they backloaded their first, their last couple of years, like the 94-95 season and going into maybe like the 98 season. They signed a lot of high price veterans and they backloaded contracts. So they were paying for contracts that guys that are retired or had moved on into the 2000s. So the Niners were in salary cap hell for a really long time because of going for it during those mid to late 90 years. I don't know if you guys remember that, how like bad the 49ers cap situation was in the late 90s and early 2000s. It was pathetic. We would have won another Super Bowl if we kept him, and I think Jerry Jones offered him way too much money. Yeah, I think we would have won another championship too. I think we would have beat Green Bay. So I think we lost to Green Bay in the divisional round like the next year. Green Bay during the 90s, man, we couldn't beat them. They used to beat the brakes off us every time we used to play them. We just didn't match up well. Our corners were bad. Because you remember, Eric Davis left too. Eric Davis left. Eric Davis went to the Carolina Panthers. So we had, I think it was Marquez Pope, possibly. I think we signed Antonio Langham at one point, and you hate Brett Favre. I don't know how I really feel him as a person, but as a player, he was so damn good. Although he threw a lot of interceptions during his career, he was like a turnover machine. You know what I mean? Because he was a risk taker. I like when people try to say that Jimmy's like that. I'm like, man, Jimmy doesn't even have a quarter of the arm of that guy. He isn't even close. Your mom was born and raised in Pitt, Tommy Huxley. Dude, that's like the breeding ground of like every great Hall of Fame quarterback that's ever existed. Marino, Montana, trying to think. There's a way those are the two that come to my mind. But yeah, there was a big thing they used to do on like I forgot what, I don't know if it was like NFL Films or something, where they used to talk about how the fact that like Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania was the home of like so many great quarterbacks. George Benson is from Pitt. Who's George Benson? I do not know that. Who that is. Sounds familiar. I just can't think of the name. Max Kellerman called Aaron Mahomes a mix of Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. I can see that. It's because he can, without the interceptions, right? Because he can throw from off platform. Because people with that baseball background, man, they have such an advantage because they can throw from alternate platforms with, the same delivery. You know what I mean? Some of the throws that Mahomes makes where he rolls left and then throws back to his right to Kelsey wide open. It's just, there's nothing you can do about it. Jazz guitarist and R&B vocalist. I do not know who that is. I am stumped. And I like a lot of, 70s, 80s stuff. So turn your love around. Oh, see, now you're going to make me go look that up after I get off of here. I'm not the biggest jazz fan. I don't mind it. I think it has its place. Like if you're going to take a nice girl to like a snazzy restaurant that has like jazz music playing, definitely has its place. Oh, that song turn. Okay, I know what that's. Okay, I know that. Okay, all right, I know that song now. I just thought of the song in my head as I read your comment back. I know that song. Very catchy. So I contacted, thanks to CG Ruthless Sports, I contacted a Rams YouTuber. I'm trying to think of his name. It's escaping me right now. But I'm going to be doing not today, but next following Saturday, I'm going to do a little bit of like a crosstalk with the Rams guy. And we're going to talk about, he's going to talk about the Rams and he's going to kind of keep me or give me kind of, because I don't know about the Rams. I don't follow the Rams on my channel. So we're going to kind of do a little bit of an interdivisional live stream. So we're going to get to know a little bit about the LA Rams or wherever they are now. And that should be interesting. I'm going to try to keep it as professional as possible. I'm not going to get into anything. So you guys got to behave in the comments. Don't get them agitated. Yeah, but it'll be interesting. Talk something other than the 49ers. Like I said, I plan on doing a little bit of like NFL talk during the season. Maybe having some other people come on here. It's just hard to reach out to people. It's a lot of channels to watch and a lot of content to keep up with. So, now that I'm back at work, it's a little more difficult. So, well, guys, feel like it was fun talking to you guys. Like I said, not a lot going on in Ninerland. So the injury thing is just something I wanted to bring to your guys' attention. I'm definitely going to talk to Jason Aponte about it and Vish and get their opinion on it. If they think what Will Blackman was talking about makes sense or if it's, hogwash. I don't have any knowledge when it comes to that kind of stuff because I wasn't a professional athlete. So I'm always willing to listen to that sort of stuff. So yeah, if you guys want to go check out the Eric Crocker video or live stream with Will Blackman, I highly suggest it. It'll definitely open your eyes about something that the Niners definitely need to maybe investigate or look into, or they need to change some ways of how they go about doing things when it comes to injuries. Because we can't have another season like the last couple with all these injuries. You can't use it as an excuse anymore. It's just not, it's not going to cut it. So just thought I'd share that with you guys. Hopefully everybody's having a fantastic Saturday. I'm off tomorrow, so I'm a happy man. Work's been tough this week on my body because I haven't worked in a while. So hopefully everybody's doing well. And I'll probably see you guys Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to have Jason Aponte on here, and then I'll have Vish on Wednesday, and then on next Saturday, like I said, I will have a Rams YouTuber. I totally forgot his name. It's not coming to me right now. And yeah, so I'll have some guests, a little bit more of a direction, a little bit more of a, structured live stream than me just kind of talking to the camera. And hopefully you guys join me, and we'll have a good time. All right, guys, take care. Stay safe and healthy. And if all goes well, I'll see you on Monday. All right, guys.